Brenda Quintana, coming to you from the Beehive at QBsQuest.com. Today I'm going to share with you some alternate ways to use the Simple Stripes Embossing Folder. So this embossing folder has these vertical stripes on it, so you can use this in a couple of different ways. This is a card front here, and I've embossed the stripes going in the vertical direction. I can take the same size card front, and I can also create a horizontal pattern. But there's a couple other things we can do with the embossing folder. You can take a piece of cardstock and run it through the embossing folder twice. First going vertically, and then the second time you're going to do the horizontal direction, and that will allow you to have this cool grid pattern, which gives your card front a totally different look. You can also do a cool diamond pattern. Now this pattern won't fit on a regular size card front, so you'll have to use a slightly smaller piece of cardstock. So this one here I've cut to 5.5 inches by 2 3/4 inches, and I just ran it through the embossing folder like this, and then I turned it around and I ran it through like this one more time to create that crisscross diagonal pattern. You can also take a slightly smaller piece of cardstock, and this one is 5.5 inches by 1 3/4 inch, and this time I lined up the corner on one end with the diagonal corner on the other end along one stripe, and then I did the same thing for the other corners. Line them up on one of the stripes, and that creates this kind of diamond shaped pattern. So I really like the different looks that you can get with just one embossing folder. Let me show you some samples. So here's a sample from a blog post that I shared with you last week. This is just using a strip of crumb cake, and I just have the plain vertical pattern on it. Then for the grid pattern, I created this cute little note card, and I liked the grid pattern for this one because it kind of matches the grid pattern in the basket. And here's a regular size card done with the same checked background, but now I've added a couple of layers to it, and I've added a cute little punched out strawberry to it too. So for the diamond shape pattern, I created this little note card. I think this is a really sweet way to show off the diamond pattern. And then I also created it in the regular size card too, but I put it coming down vertically. So I just love how the Simple Stripes Embossing Folder allowed me to create all these different cards. If you want to stick around, I'm going to show you how to make these two smaller note cards. We are going to be making this note card first. To make these cards, we're going to be using the Fruit Basket bundle. This bundle is going to be retiring at the end of May 2018, and it's one of my favorite bundles from the Occasions catalog, so make sure you get it before it's gone. The Fruit Basket bundle consists of the Fruit Basket stamp set and the Itty Bitty Fruit Punch Pack, and I just wanted to show you how cute these little strawberries are that I punched out with the punch pack. It also punches out a pear, a pineapple, and a watermelon. These are just too cute. So make sure you get this bundle before it's gone. So you're going to need your Big Shot, and I've got a piece of lemon lime twist cardstock here, and I've cut this piece to 3 inches by 4.5 inches, and I'm going to take my Simple Stripes embossing folder, and I'm going to line this piece of cardstock up so that one of the stripes is on either end of the long side. I've got my base platform here, and I've got a cutting plate down. I'll put my embossing folder with the cardstock down next, and then my second cutting plate. And now I'm just going to run this through real quick. And then we need to pick up the embossing folder again, and then I'm going to line this up going in the other direction, and I'm going to put the stripe again right along the ends. Make sure it's straight, and then I'm going to put it down on my cutting plate again. I'm going to run it through, going through in the opposite direction. With this embossing folder, you're going to want to make sure that it's very straight going in, because it is just the same width as the machine, so it won't go through if it's on the diagonal at all. Let me run that through. and there is the grid pattern that I wanted. Next, we're going to do our stamping. So I've got a piece of thick Whisper White cardstock here, and I've cut this piece to 2 1/8 inches by 3 1/4 inches. You're going to need your garden green ink pad. Let me open that up. And your real red ink pad. I'm going to start off by adding the greeting to the bottom of the card. So I'm going to stamp "You are the sweetest," and I want that about 3/8 of an inch to 1/4 inch from the bottom of the card. And then I want to stamp the basket about 1 5/8 inches from the top. So for that, I'm just going to make myself a little pencil mark. That one's a little bit harder of a mark for me to eyeball. And I'm going to stamp it so that the basket runs right along that pencil line. So again, I'm going to take my garden green, and I'm going to take the basket image, and I'm going to stamp it centered right on top of my pencil mark. Then I'm going to stamp the strawberries. So I created a little pattern so that 5 strawberries would fit in my basket. So let me grab that first strawberry, ink it up in real red, and I'm going to stamp this one right at the bottom of the basket. I'm going to turn it around and stamp it again, kind of coming up like that. Then I'm going to stamp this middle one, kind of coming down like this. And then it's just a matter of filling in each of these. And I like to leave just a little space at the top because I'm going to come back in with the green part of the strawberry and fill it in. So each time I'm just leaving a little space. So now I can take my garden green and the top of the strawberry, just going to hover this over and stamp it down. I just take a look, and when that green is just a little bit into the red, that's when I know it's really quite perfect to fit on top of the strawberry. So I'm just about done. One more. And there. All the strawberries fit into the little basket. Then I'm going to take this beautiful lemon lime twist ombre ribbon, and I'm going to wrap this around and see how much I need. And then I just need to tie a knot around this piece. Let me just adjust this. I want the knot slightly off to the side, and I'll do my first little knot here. And then I'll take a pair of locking tweezers that I got in the beading section of a craft store, and then that allows me to clamp down that first knot so it doesn't loosen while I come in and tie my second knot. And then you can just come in and give your ribbon ends a little trim. And now I'm ready to assemble the card. So I've got a Whisper White card base from the Whisper White note cards and envelopes, and they already come pre-scored, so I can just fold this along the score line, and I'll take my bone folder and just smooth down that fold so that the note card will lay flat for me. And then I'm going to just adhere all of this together. I'll use Tombow for that. To put some Tombow right on the bottom of this embossed piece, and I'm going to center it on my card front. Then I'll just take the second piece, my focal point layer, and just add it to the front of the card. If you like, you could also add this to the front with dimensionals, and that will give it a little bit more height. And there you go, there's the note card all done. Now let me show you how to make this sweet note card. So now we're going to need our Big Shot again, and I'm going to need a piece of lemon lime twist cardstock. I've cut this piece to 5 inches by 1 5/8 inches. I'm going to use my Simple Stripes Embossing Folder, and I'm going to line this piece up. One of the corners, I'm going to line up at the top with the corner on the bottom. I'm lining this piece up along the same stripe. So that's what's going to give me that diamond pattern this time, like that. Then I'm going to put it down, the same sandwich as before with a cutting plate on top, and run it through the big shot. So now we've got the first half of the pattern, and then I'm going to take this and do that same thing but on the other side. Pick a stripe, put one corner at the top and one corner at the bottom. It just takes a little bit to line it up, and once that looks good, you're ready to run it through again, and that will finish off our little diamond pattern. And there's the diamond pattern all complete. Now we're going to need a scrap piece of thick Whisper white cardstock, and I'm going to need 3 ink colors this time. We're going to need Garden Green, Real Red, and Lemon Lime Twist. And I'm going to stamp 3 different fruits on here, and I'm just going to need to make sure that they're spread out enough so that I can punch them out with the Scallop circle punch. So let me start with the strawberry. Ink it up in the Real Red, stamp it down, and then I'm going to take my Garden Green and ink up the top of the strawberry, put it down like that. Then let's do the watermelon. I'm going to ink that up, the inside up with Real Red, stamp it down, take this little U shape, which is the rind, ink it up in Garden Green, and then this one I just like to hover it right over top and then stamp it down. And then my pear I'm going to stamp in Lemon Lime Twist, stamp it down, and then I'm going to take the little stem of the pear, ink it up in Garden Green, and stamp it down like that. Then I'm going to take my 1 1/8 inch scallop circle punch, and I'm just going to center my fruit in the window of the punch and punch each of these out because they will be a part of my card. So then we're going to need a Whisper White note card again, and I just need to fold this up along the score line and use my bone folder to smooth down that fold. Let me bring in my Garden Green ink pad again, and we're going to stamp a greeting at the bottom of this note card, and I'm going to use the greeting that says Happy Birthday to You. And I'm just going to stamp this down at the bottom right corner, straight like that. And then we can go ahead and assemble this card. I'm going to take this piece that we embossed earlier, add some Tombow onto the back of it. This needs to be positioned about 3/4 of an inch from the top. Then I'm going to take some of this Lemon Lime Twist Ombre ribbon. It works so well with this bundle. I just love this ribbon. And let me just see how much I need. I'm just measuring around with a little bit of extra to tie the knot. And make sure it's straight on the inside when I tie it. I'm going to come around here, and I want it tied on my left side. So do my first notch, and then grab my locking tweezers again, use them to hold down my knot, and then tie my second knot. Like that. And then you can just arrange your ribbon so it sits nicely. You can also cut the ends on a little bit of an angle. And then when I glue on my little fruit, I like to actually position all of the pieces first, just so I can see how they look, because once they're glued down, they're hard to move. So just kind of arrange them how you like them. Probably the easiest one to put on first is the middle one. So I'm just going to use Tombow, position this right in the center, and then I'm going to use that one as a guide for gluing my other pieces down so it looks symmetrical. Like that. And there you go, a bunch of really cute cards using the Fruit Basket bundle. And don't forget to get this bundle before it retires at the end of May 2018. All the supplies you'll need to make these cards are available for purchase on my blog. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Bye for now. If you like this tutorial, be sure to check out all the free with purchase tutorials available on my blog. The Hershey's Bow is just one of the exclusive tutorials that you can choose free with a minimum purchase in my Stampin' Up! Store. Hi, it's Brenda again. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also visit my blog for more information on my projects and to learn about my rewards program, or just watch another one of my videos. Thanks for watching.